very much.
I like your style, friend.
Yeah, what a god. Thanks so much. That's awesome.
Okay, Argneon, I'm not going to cast your game. Don't check the bot, man, but I'm not going to cast it. It's fine. Okay, so let's head on over to the intro, and we'll be back very shortly. See you guys super soon.
It's showtime.
Oh, yeah, I joined. Sorry. Okay.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the STPL. Apparently I started the song in the middle, but that's fine. We're in our fourth game of today. It's going to be between one of the newer players for IrK that I've not seen before, and the current resigning captain of a Valhalla team, so this should be a very good one. We did just see Kamizerg take down his opponent there on Colosseum 2 in a very convincing CVP, showing off his true power at the start there. But let's move on over and let's introduce our next players in the Showmatch series. As I quickly pause the replay before it goes too far. But this is going to be a PvP, and it is going to be on Benzene. So let's head on over, have a look at the map, and let's get started. So you may have seen Benzene a little bit more recently in the ASL Season 3, I believe it was in, maybe even Season 2 as well. Saw some very, very cool games on that. We have only had one game on this map so far in the SCPL.
Have we? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we saw it on Monday. But as I was about to say that, I saw Arcneon said something and it confused the hell out of me. But either way, it's going to be a PvP here for IrK. We do have Oystein. So he is one of the newer Protoss players. Hasn't been around too long with them. But still, very, very fun situation. Now, we do obviously have IrK currently up 2-1. So Oystein here is on match point. So if he does win this, they will take the show match and take home the pride of winning. And his opponent going to be fighting for Valhalla team. It's their captain, IrraDiar. And he is a Terran player. Wait, yeah, he's a Terran player. It's a PvT, it's not a PvP. My bad. We had the PvP before. But PvT here on Benzene should be very fun. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking very forward to it. I don't know what to expect. I haven't known really what to expect all night, but
Yep.
It's always cool watching new players. So let's do it.
Yeah, let's head on to the fourth game of the series between IrK and Valhalla team. It's Oystein versus IrraDiar. See you guys in the game. And starting us off here in the top right position, we do have the Peach Protoss fighting for IrK. It's going to be Oystein.
Oh, and his opponent is yellow and fighting for a Valhalla team. It is IrraDiar.
Now, one thing I think we can all be thankful for is the fact that this isn't on Colosseum with these colors, because peach versus yellow on Colosseum is almost as bad as orange versus yellow on Colosseum.
Oh, orange versus yellow, specifically PvP, are just a nightmare.
PvP orange versus yellow. If I remember
I
rightly,
could catch one of those in ASL.
yeah,
it was terrible.
I remember it was on Gold Rush as well, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
it made it even worse.
It was absolutely horrendous. So never again, please.
Yeah, one thing that I'm going to suggest to Grant, if I can, well, obviously no one can suggest anything to him. He is on Twitter. He, of course, is the head developer for the StarCraft Remastered team, and he is a very, very nice guy. So if you ever want to suggest anything and you're kind about it, he will listen. Obviously, please do not insult him. He's doing a good job on the game so far. And he is very, very passionate about the game as well. But one thing I really want to see them implement, if they can, is an ability to choose your color for ladder, because I really want to play as Orange Terran. But we do have a Yellow Terran here that's almost as good, but we are going to have a gas steal coming in for Oystein, being a little bit
Uh-oh.
cheeky.
Yeah, gas steal against Terran, man, that feels really bad. And he's also probably going to come back around Banner Pylon as well.
Yeah, that's the next level Protoss strats. Now, I don't know if Oystein is South American, but he's certainly playing like one of the South Americans that well, a lot of the South Americans he used to play against on IC Cup. And I mean, it is a two-player map, so a little bit more common to see things like this. Now, are we going to see a Zealot first coming out this gateway, or are we going to see a gas coming in back at home? But he does finish the gas, and he's going to start to be very annoying. A Bisu probe here, going to take some gas, going to get some minerals, go back in the gas, and just be as annoying as humanly possible.
Indeed, he is. This is just like, wow, the most annoying probe. I hate watching this. I'm actually just a little bit frustrated. As a Protoss, whenever you do this, you gotta worry about getting deep sixed afterwards. Like, there's always these weird bio plays that can really catch you off guard if you're, just trying to be cheeky. You lose your probe, and you don't know what's coming anymore.
Yeah, and probes, I mean, people say they're weak, but I mean, this probe hasn't even taken any hull damage. It's going to regen all its shield again, and it's going to come back in for some more. It's not done. It is hungry for Terran blood, Terran anger, and he is going for it right here, right now. And now back at home, we are going to see not a Zealot first, so he is going to skip that part of the early aggression, but he is going to go for his core. And in the meantime, it's going to be a long, long time before IrraDiar can get any form of factor or anything. But the one benefit is, unlike in 2008 when this happened, when no one knew it was possible to one Rax double against Protoss, we do have that in our armory now. So we are going to see IrraDiar going for that. He's going to eventually have to kill this gas though, and you can see he's starting to do that now.
Yeah, even using the SCVs, because you just gotta get the gas.
Yeah. The longer your gas is delayed, obviously, you can build a bunker at the front, but eventually Dragoon range is going to be done. We see that starting up with Oystein right away, and then they can outrange the bunker, and if you mess up the repairing for even a millisecond, the bunker dies and so do you. So hopefully IrraDiar's had a good amount of practice with that now. The reason why I have so much trouble with it is I don't want Rax FE that much against Protoss, but it is a very common build these days, so hopefully we're not going to see too much problem by Valhalla team here to hold on and see if they can take it into the ace match.
Yeah, I actually do hope they can. I don't know what to expect from Oystein, like I said, but it appears as if he's pretty solid. He's got his timings like okay, maybe a little bit behind, but for IrraDiar, he is just totally locked down. He's got a bunker up with 4 Marines in it. Expo is about to finish. Everything looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is Oystein does become a little bit harder to do all of the actual macro stuff when you're trying to be as devilish with the probe as possible. And that's one of the biggest things I know new players have trouble with. Like, I mean, especially when I first started the game, this was back in 2008, but I thought I had to do clever stuff with my SCV, and it meant my macro was all over the place. I was skipping depots, I was forgetting all this other stuff, because I wasn't focusing on the fundamentals. And the reason why players like Bisu are so good, and players like Stork as well, is when you actually have so much experience with the game, not only can you macro at home, you can also be devilish with your probe. And I mean, you have, I believe it was Kingdom who had the nickname
The
Devil
Devil Probe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the king of all Protoss for a time, and was one of their biggest contributors and one of the times of Protoss Darkness back in the day, but was an SKT player, so I do know a lot about him. And he did become a coach who eventually did end up coaching Bisu as well. So
Yeah, that's right. Now, Kingdom's a legend. He did pioneer the devil. I would say Bisu's probes are by far more devilisher, if you can make that up a word. But yeah, no, this is kind of what we're seeing. A little bit of a devilish probe here that's setting up for a very rough start for Oystein. I said he was like okay, he was kind of stabilized. That was about his expo. It's definitely not when it comes to his tech level, because that is definitely set behind by that slow gas.
Yeah, the slow gas really hurting him. The Robo coming in. He's going to have to go into Observer likely from here, but Reaver still a strong option. Could even see DTs, but not very likely. But here we go. This is the moment when you really need a tank by Terran. And these Dragoons start to become very, very annoying. Now, you want one SCV per Dragoon attacking, otherwise you can't keep the bunker alive. But if you do any more, it fully heals it. And then you stop repairing. It's not like StarCraft 2, there's no auto repair or anything, but we are going to see, at least for now, IrraDiar is going to stay alive, but his tanks are so far off. He's only just starting one now. With his 2 factories finished, he's going to have to do a lot of repairing here, and this is a lot of lost minerals.
Yeah. No, this is not only stressing his economy, but you're also going to see some cheeky, like, attempting at diving through there. There's more Dragoons on the way, so this is just really going to get a little bit rough.
Yeah, I mean, you can hold on indefinitely if you're very good with it. We do have Arkneon, or sorry, not Arkneon, I saw his name in chat and got confused. We see Oystein attacking the bunker, the barracks a little bit, trying to force those SCVs around to repair both at once. I mean, the barracks are not too important right now. He just needs to keep this bunker alive. And his first tank is finally out, but it's going to be 1 tank against 4 Dragoons.
Yeah, I'll give him what wins there, Kicks.
I mean, as long as he keeps his bunker alive, it can be the 1 tank.
Oh,
and it looks like it's going to be.
Ooh, it was like 1 hit away from losing that, so thankfully the Dragoon escapes. And that's going to signal, you know, time to back away. So, you know, it's just like the Andrea Bocelli song, time to say goodbye. That's what it is for Oystein.
Yeah, but Oystein's not done yet. He's been aggressive the whole game so far, and that aggression is about to kick it into 2nd gear, as he does have that robotic support being done. The shuttle speed on the way as well, and this is going to be a Reaver follow-up to this. Now, Reaver's very strong on this map, very hard to stop Reavers flying in entirely, and there's no armory yet for IrraDiar, no engineering bay, only just now adding one, but he's not going to be able to get enough turrets for a very long time here.
Yes, certainly, and that's the thing, is that anytime you can set the Terran behind, you can just like skip a step and they're just going to really struggle to keep up.
Yeah, now Oystein behind this as well. Looks like he wants to take a 3rd Nexus. Interestingly, deciding to distance mine with 2 probes there. I think that's a little bit of a mistake, maybe sent to, but here we go. The first Reaver is on the way. Shuttle speed has not yet kicked in, but when it does, this is going to be very difficult for IrraDiar to deal with.
For sure, and I think the thing now is not only just like the shuttle coming across with the Reaver and Zealots, but it's going to be like, well, what do you have to, you know, do anything with? Like you're trying to hold on, but the only thing that holds for you is 3 tanks in a bunker, like nothing else. Like this could be DTs inside, this could be just like anything, and he would die to it.
Yeah, this is going to be a very big deal. I mean, he is going to have some units with good micro on your SCVs. You can avoid a lot of the damage from Reavers, but he's going to have to pull his units immediately if he wants to hold on. He does have a third CC on the way already, and this is good micro so far by the SCVs, pulling them away, but oh, that could have been a big move, but it was only 1. But here we go, the 2 Zealots are being dropped down to chase away this tank. Good micro on the tank to get away from the Scarab. Does eventually lose it, but still very good micro so far by IrraDiar.
Yeah, absolutely. Super well played. I think the biggest thing for me is like not only how well do you defend against the Reaver, but then what's your follow-up? Do you even think about the follow-up? I mean, right now he's just struggling to deal with the Reaver, and I think, oh no, if he drops it right in the middle of all these SCVs, oh no, Kicks, hold me.
Oh, this could be so big. 7 kills. That's going to be another 3 or 4. And this is where the trouble of not having a starport, only having turrets, and not having Goliaths really does start to come in. This Reaver can keep flying in, keep flying out over and over again until that shell does eventually die. But it looks like IrraDiar has stabilized without taking too much damage, and he does, for all intents and purposes, have this top left base, which is currently unscouted.
Yeah, he does indeed. I mean, if this is what gets him back into the game, like, I don't know, the spirit of Terran G5 is just smiling, because that's just like such the cheesy way to get back into it. Really, really cool to see that kind of being pulled off here. I would not have expected that, and I guess neither would Oystein.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, I've mentioned this a couple of times before, but I was speaking to Scan when I was really struggling with tilting and everything, and I was like, I really just don't seem to get what to do when I'm behind, and he said, when you're behind, there's two things you can do as Terran. You can either all in, or you can try and play incredibly greedy, and just hope it works, and you know what? That's exactly what IrraDiar's doing. He's got that third base incredibly early, and he is going to try, off the back of very few units, to actually try and take a big economic lead. Now, of course, Oystein does have his third base up as well, but he doesn't have his third gas yet, and it's going to be a while before he can get it.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, he's lucky to have 2 gases at this point after the way the game started. But yeah, getting the 4th, I mean, I guess you should expect to see the 4th Nexus come down any second now. So I mean, Oystein is just powering at this point. So even though he doesn't know there's a secret hidden base, he's still going to be a pretty good spot. But Terran inevitability will kick in sooner or later.
Yeah, we do have the Starport coming in for IrraDiar as well, so he is going to stabilize back at home, start to add on a decent number of factories. Now, he is going to take down the power generator. This is going to mean there is a pathway for Protoss units to go in behind, but of course it does mean his units have a better path out of his main as well, just in case he needs to get up to this top left base. And interestingly, Oystein has built his pylon wall at his 4th in a very interesting, like, a very weird way. I guess this is one way to guarantee vultures don't get in, but this gives tanks free range to walk up the ramp and siege on the Nexus when we eventually have this coming in.
Yeah? Whew. I mean, at least we don't have to deal with that yet, right? At least we'll have some time to prepare for if that is what happens.
Yeah, now we do have a lot of scans going down, checking all of the tech, checking the gateway count as well. Gonna see a Stargate is on the way. No Fleet Beacon or Arbiter Tribunal just yet. One thing I did notice there was we do have a Forge blocking the 4th base. Now, initially that would be an incredible move just because it does stop Vultures getting to your 3rd in many different ways. But later on, this is going to be a problem. The pathing to get to the Nexus down in the bottom right is going to be very difficult. I know it doesn't look like he's that interested in taking it at the moment. He's moving out on the middle of the map. He actually has 3 shuttles full of zealots right now. And it looks like he's going to... Yeah, looks like he's going to try and do a Mega Bulldog on top of all the tanks here. Now, is it going to work? We don't have that much anti-air still. There's not really that many vultures. I know this is going to be a big moment in the game. Is this going to work out? The Reaver drops down as well. Tanks immediately unsieging, but this is going to give the Dragoons a chance to move in. And Zealots on top of the tanks just doing so much damage right now.
Yeah, that was actually a really nice unsiege. I gotta say, I did not expect it to look that good, but it did. Wow. So he pulls the tanks back, and they're actually doing a decent job. I mean, there's no vultures here, so ideally those zealots should have been a whole lot more effective.
Yeah, and somehow the Reaver lived despite everything because of that unsiege. Now, the interesting thing is we still don't see Oystein checking that top left base, so he still does not know this is here. And this,
I guess you're right, wow.
This could be a big deal, because if Oystein doesn't see this base, I mean, he's not actually sent a single observer up there, playing very blind. Playing quite greedy, I would say, by doing this as well. IrraDiar doing a very good job to be able to sneak that in and really make it work for him. And you know what this is going to lead into, Rapid? He's going to be able to take his 4th base at the mineral inlay. And that's going to be a pretty big deal.
It is indeed, Kix. Wow, just waiting to see if he ever finds out about that upper left-hand base. Like, that's my thing. It's like, he's just poised. It's like, if he ever moved up there, then he would just, like, squash it instantly, but will he?
Yeah, now we do have vultures trying to move into this fourth base. Gonna see that the Nexus isn't done. Apparently cannons have an insane range, so they're going to be able to kill that one vulture. But eventually the vultures are going to be able to take down this this pylon, get into the probe line. Now we see the Dragoons heading right the way back there as soon as they can, pulling his entire army back to deal with these two vultures. Maybe a little bit of an overreaction here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need that. Okay. I mean, F2 is not a thing in StarCraft 1, but that's kind of what he just did. So, yeah, a little bit of an overcommittal, and this gives Terran time to set up this gigantic tank line with mines and get on up to what I guess Oystein thinks is a third base, but is actually a fourth.
Yeah, Oystein still hasn't built an additional observer to send it even into the main even. There is already a turret line around the edge of the base. Makes it a little bit harder for those things to go in, but because of all the turrets, because of everything that's gone on in this game, the tank count by IrraDiar is getting incredibly high, and Oystein is eventually going to find himself in a lot of trouble. We did see him try and take a Nexus in the top middle, but that does get taken down, and he's just sort of wandering around aimlessly with his units at the moment, not really sure where to strike.
Yeah, I mean, where do you go at this point? I think he kind of missed his opportunity.
Okay, Arcneon, when you said you donated, it doesn't show like 1 bits, so I don't know if you were donating 1 bits, but if you were, I do apologize, and huge thank you if you did. But we do have the oh man, here comes a little bit of a problem with the Forge, the probes. Not sure where to go. Oh, that's a big deal. He's not going to have this fourth base mining for a very long time. The probes have no idea what to do. He's actually going to have to move them manually. And there's a dropship coming in with 2 tanks at the back here, going for the third base.
Oh no. This is not going to go well. Wow, what a place to put these tanks in. There's observers up there, but there's no units. So
oh,
this is keep one of the tanks unsieged to deal with probes, I think. But otherwise, yeah, this is just GG.
He's sending it to the natural. This is so much damage. There are so many probes stacked up on that one patch. Oh, 5 kills in 1 siege blow. Oh my god, shoot the 15 kills on that one tank.
Alright, well, pack it up, boys. We're heading home. Woo. Wow, what a drop. I mean, like, you think about what is the best case scenario for one of these drops, and like, I mean, even I would never have imagined the kicks, the potential that the siege tank could have. I mean, we all know that siege tanks are good units, right? But like, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and he's going in for another drop. He saved his dropship. He's pulled it back to put some vultures in it, and he is going down into the bottom right position at the moment to do even more probe damage.
Oh gosh, the poor little probes kicks.
Oh, they can't get away.
They're just like, they can't escape. I mean, they can glitch through, but they can't actually like just run away.
Oh, but here we go.
Except that this. Wait, did he just really not do anything with this drop? Wow, that's okay, well, never mind. That was anticlimactic.
Yeah, now the big thing is we do have 1-1 upgrades for our Terran player, not going into, well, 2-1 almost finished, but no 2-2. He doesn't have any vessel, or he does have 1 vessel, sorry, apparently I'm blind. But the trouble is, one thing I've learned the hard way in TVP is even if you kill 50 million probes, if you die, or if you lose your entire army, you can still lose the game. Now, we still don't see Oystein with a scout on the top left corner, so he still does not know about that base. But this is going to be a big engagement that could decide everything. We're going to have the toss on the high ground here as he pushes down. And is IrraDiar going to be able to deal with this?
I don't know. I mean, wow, I'm consistently surprised at how difficult this is to deal with. Now, stasis does come down. It's not going to actually hit all that much, but it does get rid of the detection. So that's why these scans have to come down. But, you know, thankfully there's no more Arbiter anymore, and now it's just going to be Dragoons on tanks. And this tank line is actually pretty shallow, and with the Zealots actually on top of tanks, everything evaporates here. And this is Oystein just crushing IrraDiar's tank line.
Yeah, this is so much damage to be taking for IrraDiar. He doesn't actually have that much in reserve as well. No mines really at the back. and this could spiral out of control very, very quickly for our Terra player. We finally have the first units of the game going up to the top left. He is going to see the command center flying away, and he's going to click the minerals and realize what mistake he made. But IrraDiar is going to be so far behind now. He's going to try and remax his army. He's actually been adding on a lot of Goliaths because there's actually carriers in at the top left corner of Oystein's main. And I mean, if the ground army doesn't do it, the carriers certainly will. Because IrraDiar is going to have a very big problem on his hands very shortly.
Yeah, it's going to be 6 carriers, maybe even more. Wow. So, yeah, Oystein, I think it's safe to say that he has really wrested control of this game back. And what is it? Why is there a science vessel at 12 o'clock?
I don't know, maybe he's going
This
for an
is like the
IrraDiar or
worst
something.
rally point I've ever seen. It's a science vessel and a tank.
Yeah, he's going to try and take down the cannons and get into the base, but little does he know, the unit's coming back here.
Clever gal.
Yeah, the trouble is he can't really afford to be losing these vessels right now. Even every single tank is so important. His gas is going to be very low. I mean, he's got half his gas at his natural. His main gas is almost depleted. We're actually seeing him going into double, triple starport rates. Now,
okay, that's one way to deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, Wraith's very strong against carriers, but if there is, I mean, any number of observers with the Wraith, or with the carriers, the Wraiths do absolutely nothing. But if one thing that IrraDiar knows about, it's that Oystein has not been building a lot of observers. He didn't scout that top left for a very long time. And this could be the perfect counter to that.
Yeah, I absolutely could. I mean, whew, I'm just trying to think what is the best way to use these carriers. You know, obviously they've been revealed right here, killing off the dropship. So he probably has to pull the trigger pretty quickly. All these raids are starting to really add up. And do they have cloak? I don't think they do.
I didn't see it be researched.
Oh yeah,
but that didn't look.
No, I don't think they have cloak yet. He does have the control tower, but no cloak yet.
I mean, one thing that is kind of funny about the way this map works is he is going to try and take the 6 o'clock base here with his command center, but very difficult to expand here, especially when you have 8 carriers heading your, sorry, 6 carriers heading your way, and it's going to come down entirely to whether or not these wraiths can do anything. There's no observer down here just yet. We don't see Oystein with vision of all this as well, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what he can make happen. Oh, and here we go. The wraiths are going to go in. This is going to be a fight you don't see very often. Cloak is done. There's no observer. Can he get all the carriers? This could be absolutely massive.
Where's the nearest observer? Okay, yeah, all those carriers are dead.
Yeah, I don't even see an observer anywhere without on the minimap.
GG, that's a lot to lose.
That's been at least 10 minutes in the making, I would say, on those carriers. Maybe a little bit less than that, but you can see so much damage being dealt. Finally, the observer coming into play, but not before all but one of the carriers have gone down. But he does need to keep these raids alive.
Hey,
He's not...
why is he AFK on the raids? These are so important. Oh my god, every raid dies. Wow.
Yeah, that's a very big maneuver by Oystein, but of course, Oystein does have a big ground army, so does IrraDiar. And now all the carriers have gone down. I mean, there is another 3 back at home. We are going to need to see a few more wraiths being added on. But there should be enough carriers now for just Goliaths to be able to deal with it. But IrraDiar is going to find it hard to take another base. He's going for this top left base again. But reminder that it did start mining a lot sooner, so it's halfway done already. And Oystein is mining off 2 fresh new bases as well.
What is Command Center doing floating slowly up to the 11 o'clock position? It's just gonna die.
The carriers as well. I bet he wishes he kept those wraiths alive right now.
I'll bet he does, Kicks. Wow. That's about the worst way to lose the Command Center I could think of.
Yeah, now the big problem as well is the element of surprise is gone. Wraiths are no longer going to be able to deal with the carriers. He's going to have to rely entirely on his ground army, and that's what he's going to try and do. But that's 400 minerals he's going to have to replace. But he is going to push into the Protoss, and here we go. We've actually got Storm with this army as well. And this could be very difficult for our Terran player to deal with.
I think you are correct in your analysis there, Kix. This should be, in fact, quite difficult. Perhaps too difficult, even, one might say. No, I think this is going to be pretty rough. Now, my thing is, like, where's the Goliath count at? Okay, so it's high enough that the carriers should be pretty useless. And, ooh, the storms are definitely useless, so this is going to really put Oystein behind.
Yeah, now we do have IrraDiar taking that position in the top middle of the map. Gonna allow him to take the 12 o'clock base, but he's not done. He wants to push forward. He scans ahead to try and find the army, but this is the problem with Benzene. You see that Oystein is going to go immediately for the counterattack round the back. And this is such a long path for the Terran forces to be able to take. And there's not that many mines back here to defend.
Yeah. Wow, this is a really kind of cool backstab. Now, theoretically, that means that all of this Protoss will die eventually, but how much damage can he get done?
I would say quite a lot. He's going to force the Terran to go over the bridges, and all of a sudden the once defensive position is going to be an aggressive one here for Oystein. His IrraDiar's units has already been split up here. Now he's going to still try and push forward, but this third base is in contention. And oh my god, these could be some huge storms if he wanted to.
Waiting for him.
Yeah, so am I. I'm actually currently looking at them, just waiting to see if that happens. Looks like he's going to save his mana though, and he is going to go for the Goliaths instead. Now the Goliaths are going to be the really powerful chunk of this army. The tanks very far back. A nice storm on top of the Vultures. A nice mine going down on top of the High Templar though. And IrraDiar looks like he might very barely be able to hold on to his base. Okay, the base
Very
died,
barely.
but the place even.
What place?
Yeah, you know what? My brain rapid. But here we go. The fourth base by Oystein is, by IrraDiar is gonna go down, and this could be a little bit too much for IrraDiar to handle now.
Well, what is this game, Kix? What is happening in my life? How? I'm pretty sure we saw the Protoss player be in such a huge lead, and then be in such a huge disadvantage, and now be in such a huge lead again. Like, I'm so confused at what I'm watching here.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult for IrraDiar to come back from though. He's got a lot of minerals, very little gas. He's going to try and keep the command center alive, but it's not going to be enough. And Oystein is currently up 100 supply. Now, I know Archneon was saying where it is, but GG! IrraDiar taps out, and Oystein is going to give iRk the win for this evening, 3-1.
Yeah, damn, that's really impressive. Wow. So yeah, it does mean that iRk take the 3-1 victory off of a pretty epic final game. So I was happy that we got a chance to see kind of a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we saw some really interesting games today. Like the other day, we did have a series which it was the last game of week 7, and that was like all mirrors, all really weird, cheesy builds. But we saw some kind of cool late game scenarios here. We did see a little bit how the maps play out in all the various matchups as well. So really happy we got to see this show match.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very happy that we got a chance to cast it together, Kix, and that we had such amazing viewers and, you know, some riveting conversation in the chat. So a big thanks to Twitch chat, who is much like PBS. You know, this show is made possible by viewers like you. So thanks for coming out and watching.
Yep, and Archneon, unfortunately, doesn't realize this game was first. So let's let's
Aw.
pretend that we didn't cast it. It's fine. We'll make him happy. We don't want to make him hit the drink too hard. You know, it is 11:30 now in Finland, I believe. So, you know, he can't really afford to hit the drink. But either way, a huge thank you once again to you for coming here with me. It's been a great fun. And a huge thanks to all the viewers that have tuned in, everyone who's followed, donated, subscribed, obviously donated to the prize pool as well. And the STPL will be back once again on Friday, same time, same place, hopefully with the same people, depending on what Rapid's doing, but should be a great evening nonetheless. Any closing words, Rapid, or?
Oh yeah, no, that's it for me. Thanks for having me, Kix. Big fan. And yeah, looking forward to more STPL. Thanks to everybody else for watching, and see you all next time.
Yep, see you guys next time. Have a good evening, afternoon, day, morning, night, wherever you are, and I will see you on Friday. And don't expect to hear from me tomorrow because I'm going to be knees deep in 2 Point Hospital. That's going to be a lot of fun. So see you guys then.